This is a new allotment plot for me. I cleared it last autumn and covered it with black plastic, which was already here. Now it's time to lift the plastic and see what the soil looks like underneath. And had a little accident at the same time. But the show must go on. Just look at that wet top. I'm such a prize twat. Well, the soil is looking good. And it's turning over beautifully. And I'm being very careful to remove any bindweed and couch grass roots, as all the little pieces that get chopped off and left in the ground will grow into a whole new plant that I really don't want. No, there's another bit. Tiny little bits like that, you have to take them out if you see them. Little white roots. Yep, there's another one. Something else you often find when you dig an allotment is little bits of pottery. And I've got a little bit of blue and white pottery here. I'm going to try and keep all the bits that I find, and I'll make them into something. The soil is absolutely beautiful. It's like chocolate cake, crumbly. So that's the trench I've dug to put the asparagus crowns in. Now I'm going to fork in some well-rooted manure into the bottom, so they're basically sitting in a spa, allotment spa. Lucky, lucky crowns. And on top of that, I shall sprinkle some mycorrhizal fungi, which you can buy in a packet from garden centres. And that helps any new plant that you put into the ground get their roots down really strongly and keep them really healthy. Next, we have to make a little ridge down the centre of the trench to lay the crown roots over. Right, you can see they're literally like little octopuses. And so what I have to do is lay the roots. Actually, that can come a little bit further this way. Lay the roots over the top of that trench, so they sit astride, about 12 inches apart, which is about like that. And they stand up like little skirts. So I'm going to go along. I'm not going to waste this compost that they come in. So I'm going to make sure there's a bit of a dressing of that. I'm going to carry on all the way along that row. The other thing I'm going to do is plant some garlic. I'll plant that next to where I've put the asparagus. You buy it like that. You can kind of use stuff from the kitchen, but it's not been properly treated and it can carry viruses and blah 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 blah, and you don't want to introduce viruses onto your plot. So you buy proper seed garlic from a garden centre or online. The Isle of Wight garlic company are really good. Can't remember what this one's called. What's it called? It's called Isle of Wight garlic. There you go. So you just take off the individual cloves. You don't really want these tiny ones because they're really not going to make very big plants, so we won't bother with those. Then you can get the end of a rake or something, or a dibber, and I'm going in about 12 inches from the edge, and I'm gonna make a hole about 2 inches deep, and then another one about 8 inches away. And I'm going to do that all the way along the row. I can do another one on that side. 2 inches, not 2 inches, yes, 2 inches, not centimetres. Oh dear. 2 inches, and then pointy end up, drop it in the hole. So it's just buried. And then I'll lightly rake over that just to bury them in. And hopefully, within a couple of weeks, we'll start to see little green shoots. And those will be ready to harvest in about July, end of June. Sometimes they get rust, so you want to dig them up really before they get nasty and rusty. Rust is a horrible fungal disease that onions and leeks and garlic can get. You don't want that really. Anyway, so that'll be a nice row of garlic which I've planted next to the asparagus. I've come out to a boggy patch of ground to cut some reeds. Yes, very boggy. Okay, well, I've got my bog shoes on, if you like, so I'm going to cut some, and I'm going to tell you why very soon. If anyone walks along and finds a pair of black wellies sticking up, that'll be me. This is quite revolting. Here we are. Right, we've come back with the reeds, and we're going to make some St Bridget's crosses. It's the 1st of February, and it's the time of Imbolc in the Wheel of the Year. Imbolc literally means the sheep have got bellies full of lambs, and it's all very fecund and waiting to pop, really. It's also welcoming in the light. It's the halfway point between the winter solstice and the spring equinox, and we are all noticing how the days are longer. We've got more light, and we want more light, don't we? Let's face it. So St Bridget, she's the pagan saint of Imbolc, and we want to welcome her in our houses. So we make St Bridget's crosses to hang in the doorway so she knows she's welcome. And we light candles in every room. It's a very cosy celebration, Imbolc. It's all about warmth, homeliness, and just looking forward to the spring. So anyway, I'm going to show you how to make St Bridget's crosses. Okay, these are lovely green reeds, these. First thing we do is we get a centerpiece, and we want to wrap another one over the top to make a T. And then get another one underneath and wrap around that double T bit. And then turn it, keep it pressed down I'm going to get another one. And put it over the top of that. And squeeze it. And turn it. And we keep doing that until we've got as many of these wrapped around as we want, really. And turn it. It's really quite easy. They're so pretty. If I was Bridget, I'd want to come into my house with these hanging in the doorway. Thank you very much. You can make little dollies as well with reeds and rushes. A sort of embodiment of Bridget. Put her in your hearth. Some people even make a little box bed for it to say, now look here, Bridget, you're welcome here. You've even got a lovely bed by the fire. You keep going round, adding one more on each section. I'm going to keep going for a little while. Now what we need to do is tie these legs, if you like to call them that, together. Get another reed and literally use it like a little tie. Get my trusty snips, which, there we go, I was going to say, didn't snip, and then cut those off. And we do the same all the way around. Isn't that a pretty thing? And to hang it up, I'm just going to get another, going to make it a bit flexible, run my fingers along it. I'm going to stick that through, making a hanging loop. There we have it. St. Bridget's cross for Imbolc.